I'm pretty known talking shit about other people. But this video is going to be more of a reflection of my own shit.
Here we go. Mike Voyager, storytelling time.
Yes. So basically, we're going to title this video The Shit I Did When I Was an Owner-Operator. That I'm kind of... I don't feel good about it even today. I feel fucking stupid.
As long as you know that's not immunity to anything. So just make sure whatever...
So one of us started, and I hope some of you guys can learn from that because I hear those stories every day about other people. I don't always rush in and be like, yeah, I've been there too. but I hear those stories every day, and unfortunately, those stories have a big impact on your owner-operator business. And let's talk about my story and how you can improve and learn something from it potentially. So basically, I was working for a small trucking company, probably like, I don't know, 25 trucks, if that. And I lived back in Chicago back then. We're talking about probably, I don't know, 18 years ago, something like that. So it's been a while. I grew up a little bit. So I got a load going from Chicago to Denver.
Okay.
And nothing changed in that aspect because most loads from Chicago to Denver pays really good because coming out of Denver is garbage. Again, as an owner-operator, I already knew it, but you always hope for the best, right? So, and I had something going on in Chicago I guess the following week or something like that, to where I had to come back specifically on a certain day, at least in my head. I don't know, maybe the technology improved and today it wouldn't matter as much.
Right.
But back in the day, in my head, it was so important that I have to come back. I don't remember the specific days. Again, 18 years went by. But I think something like I got to be home by Friday, no matter what. So I get a load to Denver, and my buddy gets a load to Denver. And both of us would go to Denver.
Oh, were you those two guys, like you follow each other everywhere you go?
No, not like that. But it just happened.
Okay.
It was
coincidental.
It was that type of market. Or maybe because our both expectations were very, very high out of Chicago. And sometimes you can only go to a shitty place if you want to get the top dollar.
Okay.
And close your eyes on whatever is, there to coming out.
Fair enough.
But I wasn't able to do that, so that's the story. So I went to Denver, got empty, let's just say on Tuesday, maybe noon. My buddy got empty around the same time. We were chilling in different truck stops because I'm in one place, he's in another. We didn't go from the same place to the same place. We just happened to go from Chicagoland to Denver.
Yeah.
And I told my dispatcher, I have to be back home by Friday no matter what. We got no problem. We're going to make it happen. But then somehow, because we probably offered me some, if I asked for Chicago, some really crappy loads going back to Chicago, which is, again, natural. I'm not even surprised. I know that. And I knew that back then.
But it got you back on Friday or late Friday?
It would get me back way early. So now we offering me a load to, I think, New Mexico or Texas, but somewhere Western Texas or New Mexico.
Opposite of Chicago.
Opposite of Chicago. I got so worked up because in my head, I have to be back on Friday no matter what. And I refused that load. So I basically refused the loads that were offering me going elsewhere. And the loads that are going back to Chicago are cheap. And I refuse to take them.
All right, because Friday is on your mind.
So because Friday is on my mind, and cheap freight is on my mind, and poor me is on my mind. Everything is on my mind.
Yeah.
So my buddy takes that load, that same load that I got offered, that went to that Western Texas or New Mexico area, and that load was actually paying pretty good coming out of Denver.
So he's probably like, yeah.
So
first took it on the first shot.
Yeah.
What dumbass wouldn't want this load?
He took a load. He went there, and then I spent another day in Denver fighting the system.
Fighting the fight.
Talking crap to my dispatcher probably,
Jeez.
Man, just right now, it's embarrassing to admit. But I hope nobody remembers that. Now you guys going to know, but I hope nobody remembers that, who actually was involved in this whole situation. And now So I spent another day fighting the system. Then at that point, I'm already requesting Chicago only. Don't even offer me anything else. They probably offered me a load or two going to Chicago because it's not like you have a million options. You are in Denver, after all. And then I decided, you know what? I'm not taking that cheap load. I'm going back to Chicago empty. So let's say if I went, I don't remember exactly how much money, but let's just run some ballpark numbers. I went from Chicago to Denver for probably somewhere around $2,000. I came back empty. That's a 2,000 miles, $2,000. It's $1 a mile.
Yeah.
It's $1 a mile, so the diesel price back then was probably just as high as it is now. And this is how I decided to come back. However, my buddy went to that Western Texas or New Mexico area. He picked up another load going somewhere to like St. Louis or like Southern Illinois. And I'm remembering some of those details so vividly because, man.
Emotionally, you're there right now.
Yes. And then from there, he came back also to Chicago. And we both came back to Chicago within a couple hours difference.
Well, but money fucking...
The money, he probably took home $3,000 that week. I probably lost money that week.
But you got home on Friday.
But I got home on Friday, so did he.
And I bet you went home to spend money out of everything, right?
Yeah, out of the money that I didn't make. So, and I don't know, in my head, I was fighting the system, I was fighting brokers, I was fighting my own dispatchers. But at the end of the day, my dispatcher actually offered that load to Texas or New Mexico first.
You just couldn't see the opportunity.
I just couldn't see it. I was so focused on something that is irrelevant.
Yeah.
And I ended up losing money. And up until these days, I remember that thing, like if it happened not so long ago. Again, I hope nobody remembers, but I get reminded about it all the time because every time I hear about very emotional owner-operator who gets stuck in the same loop as I did back then, and when you see them, like sometimes failing just because of that, so, and you just want to help. You just want to, man, just listen. I'll get you home. We already talked about it. You just got to trust the process.
So
Let me do me.
How long did it take you to actually digest what just happened?
Well, I got the first set of, feelings about what just happened when I came back home because I just realized, like all that, stupid shit that I did is I can't even use it as an excuse. I can't even say, oh, but I had to because of this. No, because the other person that I know
is clocking out with you.
Clocking out with me. And here I am, dumbass, just being stupid and wasting a whole week of work for nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just being stupid.
Man.
So I think, at the end of the day, one lesson that I learned, you got to trust your dispatcher. If you don't trust your dispatcher, you're going to make a lot of mistakes like that because you're always going to feel, man, I don't want to miss my Friday. So you're always going to cut the week short or you may kill a week altogether because, man, I've seen somebody has something to do like on Friday, right? Or Thursday, whatever the day is, even like doctor's appointment. I see some people playing like extremely safe to where it becomes like nonsense. Let's just come back on Monday because we have an appointment on Thursday, and it's just like ripping yourself of opportunity.
Yeah, and then again, once you become that owner-operator, business owner, man, a lot of the time, well, your business has to come first. So sometimes, Can you reschedule whatever that appointment was? Like, again, I don't know what it was. I don't know what it might be to somebody out there. But you still got to ask yourself.
Yeah, I know that now, but back in the day, it was a little bit harder to understand.
I feel like I don't even know you, Mike.
It was harder to understand. So that's only one of those things that I've done as an owner-operator, the stupid thing that I've done as an owner-operator. And I just hope you guys, the people that haven't done stupid shit like this, don't do it. It's not worth it. And if you're about to do it, hopefully you learn something from my stupid mistake.
Here we go. Live vicariously through this man.
Yes, and so like nobody is perfect. We all have to grow. We all have to learn. I think one of the hardest things to do as an owner operator, you're a businessman. You want it or you don't want it. You're no longer a driver. So I think the most important thing for any businessman is to learn to lose a little bit, to lose a battle but win the war.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good, what is it, like saying phrase, or like how do you say that in English?
Phrase, motto, I don't know.
Here we go. So lose a battle but win the war. Business first. Don't make stupid mistakes.
Yeah, here we go, guys. So,
all right, guys. Hope you like it. Like, share, subscribe. Tell us your best behavior.
Make sure you share this video so he can have a nightmare.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. Take care.